Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
Hey, what's happening, y'all? Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and keeping it real, so please do me a favor. Kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. Look, on today's conversation, we're going to talk about reality star, singer, entrepreneur Ray J found himself in some hot water last Thanksgiving. He was arrested on domestic violence charges brought against his ex-wife, co-star from the Love and Hip Hop franchise, Princess Love. There was a disgusting dispute between the two, and yeah, Ray J was at fault. Much, we'll talk more about it, but he was at fault. It was obviously it was issues happened on both sides, but eventually he ended up being the one arrested. So, go figure. But folks are calling out his mother for being a bad parent, which I think is uncalled for, because really parents should never be the cause of children's actions, especially when they're grown ass people, in my opinion. But his mom responded and she's like, hold up, slow your roll. So she's going back and forth with folks on social media, which is a shame because people forget that, Ray J does have a sibling. He is the brother, little younger brother of Brandy, actress, singer, multi-talented superstar. Ray J made a name for himself off of a sex tape, and then he went in the music field with the one hit. He's don't get me wrong, he's made a career by himself, right? He became the reality star. He used that brand of influence to invest in was it Raycon scooters, headsets, you name it. So he's about that money. But I personally, I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of Ray J. I'm not a fan of reality TV in general, but we'll talk a little more about it on the show. Also, check this out: 249 arrests in one night at a bar. 249 underage teens that was arrested at a bar. Which with a number like that, I'm now surprised that the bar might not or might eventually close down for good. Also, yours truly, President Trump recently went on a rant calling Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and former vice presidential candidate mentally ill, but he used another term. Okay, he used another term, which I refuse to use it here on this show, because I don't know what's that word we have here. Oh, we have class. Okay, we have class, but he, my friends, had said the word, and the sad thing is, he is the leader of the free world. He is he is the man that's in office right now using terms like that, which it still blows my mind to this day. Like, okay, everything he says is quote unquote the kind of president you want. Give me a freaking break. Well, look, we're going to talk about it here on the show, and we'll have a lot more. So do me a favor, you are in for a treat. Don't leave us, don't go anywhere. We're going to go to a commercial break. Oh, wait a minute, before we do that, because I'm moving ahead here, before we do that, I want to first thank you all for taking the time out of your busy schedule to tune into yet another great episode here on the Arrington Gavin Show. You could be doing so many other things with your precious time, but the fact that you said, let me see what Arrington's talking about today, I appreciate it. In addition to that, you can also watch us on YouTube. For all those who are watching us on YouTube right now, do me a favor, like, subscribe. There we go. Hold on, let me there we go. For those who are watching us on YouTube right now, I thank you. Please like, subscribe, share with a friend, share with family. I truly appreciate it. We want to continue to grow our subscribers as well as our viewership numbers, which we see growth each and every day. So if you will be so kindly on following us on our YouTube channel. I truly appreciate that, my friends. Let's see. In addition to watching us on YouTube, you can also check us out on Goatverse TV. That's right, Goatverse TV. It's available on the App Store, Google Play Store, Roku, as well as Amazon Fire TV. Goatverse TV. So those are multiple ways you can watch the Arrington Gavin show. And let's see here. You can listen to us on the go. Wherever you listen to your podcast, we're available on all major podcast platforms. We're available, again, iHeart, Odyssey, wherever you listen to your podcast. You can also listen to us on the radio airwaves. Shout out to our fam out in the New Orleans area, WBOK Media, WBOK 1230 AM, as well as WBOK 107.1, I believe. Don't quote me on that. So I apologize, but I know they have an FM FM extended to FM as well out there in the New Orleans area. WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about. You can tune to the Arrington Gavin show weeknights at 7 p.m. Central Time. Then we're going to head over to the Metro Atlanta area to WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin show 11 p.m. I'm having an awful day, as you see. I'm trying to look. I'm coming back from a long vacation, so it's like you're trying to get the hang of things, and it's like after being on a week's long vacation, you need a vacation from the vacation. So I'm all around the place. So forgive me, y'all, if I'm all around the place. WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. You can tune to the Arrington Gavin show weeknights at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, that's only on WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. Then we're going to head over to the to Houston to Afro Vibes Radio, where you can listen to the Arrington Gavin show Mondays at 12 p.m. Central Time. All righty, now that we got that out the way, we're going to pay some bills here. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Arrington Gavin show. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Every man has a story to tell. Your ambitions, your achievements, your legacy. Your suit should reflect that story, crafted precisely, designed for impact, and tailored exclusively for you. We work with only the finest fabrics, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends from world-renowned mills in Italy, the UK, and India. These fabrics are the foundation of custom suits that exude elegance and stand the test of time. But a suit isn't just about fabric, it's about fit, and it's about confidence, and it all starts with you. When you work with me, you'll receive a personalized consultation, whether in person or over Zoom. Together, we'll explore your vision and discuss your needs. And we're going to bring your ideas to life. My journey as a designer includes apprenticing under New York-based designer Clavon Leonard, showcasing collections at New York Fashion Week, Algeria Fashion Week, and the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. That experience is what we bring to every suit we create, from weddings to corporate events and everything in between. We specialize in crafting one-of-a-kind suits for life's most significant moments. Dapper Luke has been recognized as one of Baltimore's best menswear in 2023, and I was honored to be one of the 10 designers selected for the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. With over 900 satisfied clients, we proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore, bringing world-class designs to these incredible communities. We don't just make suits, we craft confidence. Your suit will fit your body, your style, and it will tell your story. Book your free online personal consultation today. Visit www.dapperluke.com.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to
And we still in traffic.
Don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up. Yeah, that's that new Goatverse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of that app he said?
Introducing Goatverse TV.
Goatverse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In Goats, we trust.
Order your beard care products with Rugged Evolution. We're your local beard care line that supports the maintenance of your full, mature beard. Our line includes conditioning shampoos, moisturizers, balms, oils, shaving lotions, and exfoliating soaps. These products moisturize, hydrate, nourish, and have all the natural ingredients for a healthy beard. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
All righty, my friends, welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. I am your host, your friend, Arrington Gavin. All right, let's get it going with our first story here. Netflix recently canceled it was, I guess you can call it a reboot, the Good Times Black Again, not Back Again, but Black Again show. Recently, let me pull that up for you to have a graphic for you all. Give me 1 second here as I pull that up for you, because it's been a minute. I forgot all about. I watched the show before, but I forgot that it was still on. If it was still on TV. So the Good Times reboot really was controversial because the past cast members, Jimmy Walker, I'm trying to remember all their names. I remember Jimmy Walker because that was JJ Dynamite. And then you had, let me pull up the cast right here. Give me 1 second, folks. You had Jimmy Walker, Bernadette Stannis, Ralph Carter. Now, Ralph Carter played Michael. Bernadette played Thelma. They were the three still living, and there were so many other folks that had recurring roles on there, but they were the OGs, you know what I mean? And I remember the last time I think I think it was an interview on the Breakfast Club. They found out that they had no, didn't have a lot of insight with this new reboot. The new reboot, even though it was back as a cartoon, they're like, we're still here. Why don't you have us do it? But they want to do this whole different theme now, which I will say this version was a bit more graphic, more raunchier than the original sitcom, which for those that don't recall Good Times was a staple. It was an historic show that was back in the 70s. It was from 1974 to 79. It was a sitcom that was created by Eric Monte and Mike Evans, developed by the late great Norman Lear, who had a slew of programs, by the way. This was a spinoff of a show called Maud, and you had it tackled issues like gang warfare, racism, widowhood, poverty, education, child abuse, unemployment, eviction, financial struggles. Bigamy, I don't even know what that word is. I can't say it. Stealing, suicide, mugging, affairs, drug addiction, rent parties. I mean, the list goes on and on. And it was intense. I'll just say it like that. It was a very intense show, but it was funny at the same time, and it brought you so much good. It brought you so much good because it really shared another storyline that happens within the Black community. And like I said, it became a staple. It became a staple, a iconic show. And so when you have something so iconic, it's very iffy if you want to reboot it, right? Bring it back. I'm always that one that is very iffy when it comes to bringing shows back or rebooting or doing sequels. I think that if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? If it was good, then just leave it. But I get it. You have your favorite movies that you're like, oh, I wish they did a sequel. I want to know where they're at now and this and any other. Well, this ain't that show. It just basically shows you a newer version of a family that is similar to that. So you have a hardworking you have a hardworking a father, stay-at-home mother, but it just used more. It's corny. It's corny humor. Um, the interesting thing is that despite it having uh viewers in the millions, they have about 5.4 million viewers in the I think on average. Let me see here. They had it was in the top 10 US top 10 and 5.4 million total views over 18 months. Not bad at all. Uh Yvette Nicole Brown support couldn't save it. Critics and fans slammed the show for leaning on outdated black stereotypes, and even cast member Yvette Nicole Brown support couldn't save it. Brown tweeted about the show saying it's 100% lines up with my values, but the reboot starring JB Smoove, Jay Farrell, and Marissa Martin had a short-lived run, proving that nostalgia alone doesn't guarantee a hit. Very true, because it was hitting on stereotypes, but it was funny. I will say it was quite funny. Is it better than the first one? It's a whole different show. One thing we've learned here is shows come and go. There's shows that succeed so great and they don't make it back another season. Usually when they're canceled after the first season, there's always some questions like, okay, what was the reason? Because I just remember a side note, there was a drama show, I think called don't get me. It was a show that starred Regina King, and it was hitting some heavy topics that was existing in our current time. I think it was between the disconnect between law enforcement and the community and the justice system as well. And yeah, it hit too close to home because it was still during the midst of so much violence happening in the community. And so even though she won like a Emmy or Golden Globe, show got canceled after one season. So I guess my question for you all, if you watched the show, do you think it's like, was this a shocker to hear that this show was canceled? Did any of y'all even say, what the hell? I didn't know they even had a reboot, a Good Times cartoon show? I didn't know that even existed. Like, what's your thoughts on this? What's your thoughts on this program? Let us know by simply hitting us up on our website, www.theagshow.com. You can email me from there, or you can DM me at the Arrington Gavin Show on Instagram, y'all. Let's stay connected. All right, we're going to move it on to another story here. This is in regards to Ray J. Let me talk about Ray J. All right. Ray J. So Ray J is a piece of work. That's all I can basically like just leave it at that. Like, Ray J is a piece of work, and it's extremely sad because I remember years back, Ray J, his sister Brandy, Norwood, his parents, they all had a reality show, short-lived, but it just kind of showed their everyday life, right? And one thing you learned was that these two entertainers came from great parents. Great parents. I think their mother was like their manager, so very educated, just class act individual. Father was a musician. He kind of taught them the music aspect of things, and it was beautiful, right? You had Brandy. We all know how successful Brandy is. Wonderful actress, wonderful singer, a hit maker, you name it, right? Then you had Ray J, the brother that tried to find his place, kind of rebelled and still does, even though he's grown. I mean, he has kids, for crying out loud now. But it was a lot has changed for Ray J. I'll just say that. Now Brandy's still doing her thing. She's touring right now with Monica. And doing great. She was in my hometown not too long ago, and so she's doing good. Now Ray J's trying to stay in the know by I think he has like a streaming network now. He's on was on Twitch. I think he got banned after this recent arrest. But he has his hands in everything. Ray J always gonna have some hands on money too. Like, he's controversy sells. I'll just break it down for you. Controversy sells. Let me go ahead and pull this up here. So, all right. So this is reported by NBC News. Let me kind of give you a background on this here. So he was charged of making criminal threats. That's what LAPD says. It says here that the singer was arrested on Thanksgiving on suspicion of making criminal threats. The artist, whose real name is Willie Ray Norwood Jr., Willie Ray, I don't get no country than that, was taken into custody after officers with the Los Angeles Police Department responded to a call for assault with a deadly weapon and domestic violence around 3:55 a.m. Now, Norwood, who's 44 years old, this, like I said, grown ass man here, was released on a $50,000 bond. A representative for Norwood did not immediately respond to the request for a comment. Now, the video published recently by TMZ appeared to show Norwood live streaming a confrontation with actor Princess Love about their children. They have 2 kids together at one point in the edited video. Norwood appears to pull a gun. Love, who is carrying a child, can be heard saying, "You just pointed a gun at me." Norwood then denies that he pointed a gun at Love. Another point in the video, Norwood appears to threaten to shoot someone. Okay. A representative for Love did not immediately respond with the request for comment. Excuse me. Spokesperson for NBC News in a statement that there were no reported injuries stemming from the incident and the multiple firearms were recovered at the scene. First and foremost, prime example of why I've always said we have a gun culture that needs to be dealt with. I'm all for protecting your household, but it is a fact, in my opinion. Okay, I don't know. I can say it's a fact and it's my opinion, but in my opinion, I don't think everybody deserves to have firearm around them, especially when they're toxic like Ray J. Right? He shouldn't have picked up a weapon in the first place when you're talking to the mother of your child, and who has your child in here. Why'd you even have the weapon nearby? Why'd you even have a weapon in hand? No, don't even play. That's ignorant. That's ignorant ownership of a weapon right there. You making folks that are gun owners have a bad name. Because I'm all for protecting your household. I'm not crazy about the whole open carry. Especially if you're a person that's not involved in law enforcement, I'm not crazy about the open carry. I'll be honest. Look, I always have the back and forth with my close friends who are proud gun owners. That's just me personally. But this is an example of not everybody should have a gun in their house. And they said they confiscated basically multiple firearms on the scene. I try not to speak too much on issues that are happening within a family, because this is a toxic issue that occurred within a family, because hey, they were at one point very much in love, very much trying to make it work. They've always had a toxic back and forth relationship. They're trying to make it work for their 2 kids. I pray that they do make it work. I pray that Ray J seeks the help that he needs. I pray that Princess seeks the help that she needs. Right? I pray for safety for their children, because it's disgusting that they had to be near when all this happened, especially on a day when you're trying to give thanks. Right? Now, fast forward here. The mother of Ray J has been on the has been in the news lately because she was called out for being basically a bad parent. All right, check this out. And she defends. Now, this is says here that Ray J continues to get into a lot of trouble, yada yada. I know that, but yeah, so someone took, and okay, so according to the Jasmine brand on Instagram, a social media user went into Ray's mother's comment section to criticize her parenting, saying, "You raised a terrible son. Happy holidays." Now, the user wrote, okay, so the sad thing is, folks say bad crap about me on social media, right? As you know, I like to talk. I like to run my mouth. I like to share an opinion that some folks might enjoy, some folks might not enjoy, right? I could care less. My thing is when, let me see, how can I put this here? When it comes to, if you're in the public eye, now I'm not comparing myself to Ray J being a public, a public figure. I'm no public figure whatsoever. I'm not. I'm not. Um, but when you have a brand, I'll say it like that. When you have a brand, you have to do all you can to protect that brand. That's again acting right, not acting. Acting. You got to act right. You got to do what you can to help, because you're representing a lot of folks, and that's the hard part. Everything that Ray J does, it don't just affect Ray J. It affects his family. It affects his parents, his sister. He gets himself in trouble, it looks bad on the whole entire family. And this is a prime example. Because Ray J has had multiple offenses. He's gotten himself in multiple backlash and conflicts 24/7. Now folks are starting to criticize the mom, but you shouldn't respond to anybody on social media. It's funny. I had a old high school teacher of mine not respond. She left a comment on my I made a Facebook post a while back that was not directed to be political, but she just hated the fact that I was at an event that Barack Obama was speaking at. And it's comical, because I said, and I've probably mentioned to y'all before, I said that politics aside, it was an honor to be at that event. It was an honor to witness at this time the former president, who was the first man of color, the first African American elected, who was the first and in my opinion only class act president. Okay, class act. He was respected on both sides. One of the most bipartisan presidents you can possibly name. People that did not like him on the opposing side, I won't even say it was just always policies. I would not say that, because even they will say he was probably one of our greatest presidents of all time. I mean, you can't say anything bad about him. You can talk about his policies, but as a person, he was a class act guy. So that's what I looked at him being a class act guy. So a teacher left. Now she completely ignored through what most I've spoken about, but she just comes out to say, "Why take it? You got to vote for the black woman for governor," which was I took very offense, because this teacher was white. The candidates at the time in governor, because for governor, I live in the state of Virginia. You had Abigail Spanberger, who's a white woman. You had Winsome Earl Sears, who's a black woman. People are assuming that all black people vote for black people. No, you don't. And for Republicans, I mean, it's talking points, really. It's talking points. Let me not get to that, because it's just making me frustrated even thinking about the comment. But long story short, I brought that up because I did not respond at all on Facebook. Because see, one thing, when you respond to somebody on social media, it's going to be a back and forth. You ain't never going to get enough sleep. You ain't never going to go to bed. It's going to be back and forth. Yeah. And so anyways, the lady had put that in her comments to provoke, to agitate Ray J's mom, which that person was winning, because the mother responded. Mother responded by saying, "Sorry, but I don't think so." Let's see. But the other person wasn't done. Okay. The person who made the comment previously wasn't done. She said, "You think you're pulling guns and tossing women in pools is a good representation of a man you raised? Well, I hope I do better. I do better by mine." And then let's see what she said after that. This was apparent. I think she responded by saying, hold up, I'm trying to find. Give me 1 second, y'all. This was apparently in response to into the mother's Thanksgiving post on Facebook, which directly referred to Ray J Prince's level altercation arrest. She said, "I hope each of you had a grateful Thanksgiving. The day started a little rough, but we had a good family Thanksgiving. Love y'all. We're back on the road tomorrow. Detroit. See you soon." She wrote. The tour comments refers to Brandy, her daughter, and current trek alongside Monica now. I'm trying to see here. She accused, so Princess accused him. I've already mentioned that. As Ray J's Twitch permanently banned him from the platform shortly after, of course. Ray J claimed that she and her cousin were drunk and trying to take his kids away alongside her cousin's husband. Okay. So it's no more really to read about that. I mean, just again, simply just keeping the family in your prayers. They come to double down. Yeah, it's just a sad, disgusting case. Not defending the person that accused the mother for being a bad parent, which I like I said, Rachel's 44 years old. Mother did her duties. Mother did her job. Not saying because he has money and fame that makes him that means that he's been successful and is making his family proud, because he's not. He's acting a fool, right? He's doing horrific acts. In my opinion, it's like, think first before you do, right? Think before you do. But Ray J has he has found himself in a lot of turmoil where he doesn't think before he speaks or think before he does. But that, I don't think you should accuse or say that was bad parenting. Now, a tip for the mother: never respond to folks on social media, because see, they thrive on getting under your skin. The haters, the trolls, that's what they do. They don't have a life. They thrive to see someone successful or living large. They want to see them fall. Now, I don't wish that on Ray J. I just hope that he gets help, and I hope that he learns that his actions has consequences. And he was at the time on his Twitch. Now he got that banned, so that's a source of I don't know how much he was getting paid for, but now that's something that he's lost now, because he was doing something that got him put in, locked up. I mean, come on, y'all gotta do better, y'all have to do better. My friends, look, we're gonna head to another commercial break. You're listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Jazera Learning Institute, LLC, is a hybrid learning center that strives to educate adults and children in all fields. During the day, we offer programs that are focused on developing students from pre-K to 12th grade, which includes tutoring, homeschool co-op, an after-school program, SAT, ACT prep, and many more engaging academic programs. Our adult education programs include workforce trainings, GED prep, life coaching, various seminars, and many more. Our vision is to train and educate in a positive way that will lead to a positive change in the world, one person at a time. For more information, visit us online at JazeranLearningInstitute.com or call us at 757-208-7407.
Let me tell you something most people get wrong about suits. A suit isn't just about you wearing it. It's how you show the world who you are. It's your handshake before you say a word, your presence when you step into any room. That's why we design statements at Dapper Luke. We don't just make suits. We'll start with the fabrics that tell your story: luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends sourced from the finest mills in Italy, the UK, and India. Then we'll combine that with your vision, your personality, and your style. Every detail is tailored to you, from the fit to the finish. Whether for your wedding, a gala, the boardroom, we specialize in creating custom suits that are unique, just like the men who wear them. We spent years perfecting this craft, apprenticing under designers in New York and showcasing collections in New York and for Baltimore Fashion Week. None of that matters as much as seeing the look on your face when you try on your custom suit. Over 900 clients have already trusted us to deliver the best custom suits. They trust me to deliver the confidence. We proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore and would be honored to bring your vision to life next. Let's create something unforgettable. Book your free consultation today at www.dapperluke.com.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. As I mentioned earlier, look, we have I want to share a soundbite from Sylvester Stallone. Sylvester Stallone, Rocky, Rambo, what's his what's his cat? Well, I know Tulsa King, but what's it? I'm trying to Manfredi, Dwight Man. Is it Dwight Manfredi? I think it's Dwight. Yeah, I think that's his name. Anyway, let me show you this soundbite here real quick, and then I'll explain why I wanted to play this for you. Just hold tight as I pull this up for you.
I did Rocky. If you remember, the first image was a picture of Jesus, and it says Resurrection AC Club. I found a church that had been converted to a boxing ring. So the image pans down from Jesus onto Rocky being hit. And at that moment, he was a chosen person, and that's how I began the journey. Something was going to happen. This man was going to go through a metamorphosis and change lives, just like President Trump. And I'll just say this, and I mean it. When George Washington defended his country, he had no idea that he was going to change the world. Because without him, you can imagine what the world would look like. Guess what? We got the second George Washington. Congratulations! When I did Rocky, if you remember the first image.
Sylvester. Congratulations, George Washington 2.0. This man just, first of all. And look, I'm too young to really know too much about George. I just know man was the first president, had false teeth. He, had the interesting looking hair, the quarter. Man worth 25 cents. Okay. I could care less on doing the back history of George Washington. But here's my thing. And I'm a huge Sylvester Stallone fan. I remember we talked about separating the creator from the creation. Tulsa King is my favorite show. Rocky is one of my favorite movies, right? Rambo, Expendables. I'm a huge fan, right? And set aside from so I got a sauce. So I had some on my table here. I don't know where it came from. He set aside from his views. He's a extremely talented actor, director, writer. I mean, he's a man. I mean, the Creed series, look, he's a person that is still very respected from folks that are more liberal, at least not Trump fans, right? Like myself, I'm not a Trump fan. But I think he goes a little bit too overboard with this. He does. And look, it's favoritism because this guy literally just gave him, which in my opinion, I thought was, I don't know why past presidents hasn't done so in the past, or hasn't chosen or selected him for the Kennedy Center honors. But yeah, the upcoming Kennedy Center honors will be honoring Sylvester Stallone. He's one of those individuals. Most of everybody on here is pretty much, Trump lovers. Kiss, Sandra Gaynard, Rocky, as I mentioned, or Sylvester Stallone. I'm not too sure on the views of George Strait. Would surprise me if he's Republican. It would have surprised me. But anyways, I bring this up because this man supported this guy who recently said or called the governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, okay, recently called the governor of Minnesota, and let me find the actual message here. He called them mentally disabled, but he used another word, and I'm gonna read you this quote here. So forgive me, but let me go ahead and let me blow this image up for y'all for those who are watching. This is a from, I think, Trump Social or True Social. That's what we call. This, it was on Thanksgiving. He said, "A very happy Thanksgiving solution to all of I'm sorry, very happy Thanksgiving salutation to all of great American citizens and patriots who have been so nice in allowing our country to be divided, disrupted, carved up, murdered, beaten, mugged, and laughed at, along with certain other foolish countries throughout the world. The being politically incorrect and just plain stupid when it comes to immigration. The official United States foreign population stands at 53 million people, census shows, most of which are on welfare. From failed nations or from prisons, mental institutions, gangs, or drug cartels, they and their children are supported through massive payments from patriotic American citizens who, because of their beautiful hearts, do not want to openly complain or cause trouble in any way, shape, or form. They put up with what has happened to our country, but it's eating them alive to do so. A migrant earning $30,000 with a green card will get roughly $50,000 in yearly benefits for their family. The real migrant population is much higher. The refugee burden in the leading cause of social dysfunction in America, something that did not exist after World War II. And he has a parenthesis: failed schools, high crime, urban decay, over population. You know what he does. I'm not going to read too much, but let me kind of fast forward because I know I read a lot there. He says here and that is highlighted, the seriously, and excuse me for saying this word, but I'm quoting the president of the United States, the seriously retarded governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, does nothing either through fear, incompetence, or both, while the worst congressman / woman in our country, Ilhan Omar, always wrapped in her swaddling hijab, and who probably came into the U.S. illegally, in that you are not allowed to marry your brother, does nothing but hatefully complain about our country, its constitution, is how badly she is treated, when her place of origin is a decadent, backward, and crime-ridden nation, which is essentially not even a country for lack of government military. I mean, this is insane. So let me go ahead and let's go ahead. So a reporter had asked basically the president, do you regret saying what you said? Do you regret? And here's what he had to say.
Tim Walz, and you called him what many Americans do find an offensive or retarded. Do you stand by that claim of calling Tim Walz retarded?
Yeah, I think there's something wrong with him. Absolutely, sure.
If you don't think
you have a problem?
I mean, you heard it right there. He said, "Yeah, I stand by it. I stand by. I think something really wrong with him." Yeah, I think there's something wrong there. I mean, exactly what I said. Why do you have a problem with that? Because he was about to start calling. Because this man calls reporters piggies and all this other. Again, how would you compare that? Would you compare that to a class act president? Class act. And I can already hear folks saying, "Oh my gosh, everybody's so politically incorrect. You're so weak, and everybody's so sensitive and so sensitive." First and foremost, I don't care. My thing is personal attacking an individual in a professional setting is already keyword unprofessional. Like, you have got to be a representative for all. If I'm playing a sport, and I always use a sports analogy, if you voted on a team captain, you vote for somebody that represents the team with dignity, class. We don't vote on the best player. We don't vote on the best player skill set. We vote on somebody that is a leader, not the best player, a leader. Now, in this case, he's not even the best player. He's not even the best water boy. And he's not the best leader. All he is a freaking chatterbox that all he does is blah, 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 blah. I've yet to see what he's done that has been benefit for the country. Seriously, I'm trying to rethink on stuff that what has he done that was beneficial. Still waiting. Check this report, this article. I'm looking at my time here. This article by thehill.com. Ex-federal prosecutor rips Trump for using the slur against Walz. Absolutely indefensible. So former federal prosecutor Joseph Marino recently slammed the president for for using a slur, deeming people with disabilities aimed at Minnesota Governor Tim Walz in the wake of a National Guard shooting that recently happened in Washington. The president called, as I mentioned, I'm not going to repeat it, and alleging he was allowing refugees from Somalia to reside in the North Star state and grant them access to prey on local citizens. Marino was recently on CNN. The lead said the president's comments were making it so difficult to be a conservative-leaning citizen who my whole life has cherished vigorously but respectfully debated. Quote here, he says, and so when you see something like this, which is absolutely indefensible, and you're sitting at the Thanksgiving table and your family and friends say, how can you possibly support an administration that comes out with messages like this? I'm telling you, and I've had on my buddy Malik Abdul, Republican strategist. He's probably on MSNBC or MS Now or CNN or Fox. He's everywhere. Newsmax, he's everywhere. Black conservative. I know that man has his work cut out on him. And all my conservative friends, those that support Trump, those that are just simply, still registered Republicans, I know they have their work cut out, because this guy will forever continue to force them to lose their hair. And people are quiet now because just imagine if, say, a Biden or any Democratic president or any other president in general, it could be Democrat or Republican, if they use those words, how would y'all respond? How would the public respond, right? It blows my mind. It really does. It blows my mind. And so let's see here. Trump not only targeted Walz, but also took shots at the representative Ilhan Omar, whom he's had calls in the past with. I mean, he did. He went after just basically her whole heritage, her whole culture, and he has been since. I think years back he said, "Go back to where you came from." I mean, statements like that is extremely offensive. Extremely offensive. Walz went on to respond by urging the president to release his MRI results, referring to exams that the president had undertaken in the recent months. Minnesota is home to the country's largest Somalia community, with roughly 107,000 residents as of 2024, according to the data for the U.S. Census Bureau. Trump has railed against immigrants, especially those in the country illegally, in recent months, sparking debate over the treatment of migrants and people of color residing within the country. Now, Marino also said he said the back and forth with Minnesota governor and other lawmakers makes him question whether it's worth supporting Trump. Let me tell you something, and this kind of goes back to what I was talking about when I explained, once MAGA, always MAGA. When D.L. Hughley, radio host and comedian D.L. Hughley, basically said, hey, look, there is no forgiving former MAGAs, ex-MAGAs, whatever you want to call it, because you stood by him three times. Okay? He ran for president 3 times. Won the first time, lost second time, came back and won. 3 times. You stood by him. And all of a sudden, when you find something that offends you, then it's like, no, we're not doing that. We're not having that. You were selfish beforehand, and you will always be selfish. Now, that's D.L. Hughley's words. Now, I didn't fully disagree with him with that. I'm always just a person that I'm gonna always forgive for those who are truly. Now, I respect those more that left early on, maybe like after the first term, but when you kind of repeat for the second time and the third time, look at you a little funny. They're just a smidge funny. He says it's not easy. He said, and you have to take the big picture view. Do you think that we're better off as a country now than we would be under Biden or Harris administration? And is it worth putting up with a president that puts out messagings like this? It's a tough one, and I'm not gonna pretend I know the answer to that. When you have an old, ignorant individual that has a phone that tweets everything, he's probably tweeting right now as we speak. That tweets everything. It truly, to me, is not presidential whatsoever. It's not. I don't get it. That's all I can say. I don't get it. I don't know if America would ever realize. I don't know if they, I'm surprised there's not folks that are now saying, okay, look, I think we do need to see how they can start finding a replacement for him, because in my opinion, Trump ain't never going nowhere. Now, I'm not saying he's going to run for a third term. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that he wants to grow MAGA so largely to where he might be out of office, but his image, his tone, his personality, his movement will never go. And that's what worries me. That's what worries me, y'all. Let me go ahead and digress for this. We're coming up to our last story here. Imagine hearing about 246 is the number. 246 underage teens was recently arrested in Arizona. Underage drinking at a college bar in Tempe, Arizona, during a joint operation with the Arizona Department of Liquor License and Control. Footage shows officials conducting the raid at Tempe University, or at Tempe Tavern, which is around the Arizona State University. 249 underage drinkers arrested in one night. Now, sorry to break it to you, but I don't think this bar gonna exist anymore. 249. Dear Lord. I tell you, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna say I wasn't, I was an angel back in the day. I've learned from my mistakes. Okay. I'll tell you a funny story. When I was, well, how old was I? I was 20. I was 20 and I got caught underage drinking on a cruise once. And it was like I don't know, it was like a 7-day cruise, but I got caught like on day number 4. So I mean, for the most part, I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed myself. But yeah, it just it sucks. Hey, I had one more year. I easily could have said I could have, but yeah, I was just I enjoyed myself. Made friends, and the rest was pretty much history. Eventually, I was at the bar, got caught, had a warning. Thank God, they were nice the first time, but they said, hey, you get caught a second time, your ass is grass. Basically, you're leaving, you're going out. And so I learned my lesson the first time, and I was trying to joke around because you kind of play dumb when you get caught the first time, right? And you're like, wait, but are we on we're not in the States anymore. I just figured since we're out of the country, it's a different the legal age, drinking age is younger, right? But once you're on that cruise, regardless of where you at, you still on US soil. So they abide by US laws when you're on that cruise. So I was like, darn. And I think at the time when they caught me, I was drinking a like a vodka tonic or gin and tonic or something like that. And I'm like, what? You mean this ain't water? I did not know that. Well, since you caught me, you mind if I finish the drink? They're like, no. I'm like, okay, chill. And that was my rebel experience, in as far as that's one of the stories I'll share with you. That's the only story I'm gonna share with you. But yeah, I got caught once and learned my lesson. And I'm pretty sure these college kids these well, yeah, they're probably college kids because there's a lot of students that are underage that hey, it's college. Come on, y'all. We didn't grow up yesterday. Like we weren't born yesterday. That's how they say it. There's a lot of folks that do what they want to do and yada yada yada. So again, 249 in one night. I mean, those guys need a raise. Law enforcement needs a raise for catching all of them. Now the question is that are they gonna learn their lesson, or is it gonna be because that's just 249 from I'm assuming those that are close with Arizona State University, which is well over, they're in the thousands with their students. So 249 is just that's maybe like a hallway of students or a hallway of teens. But yes, I think that's the last thing, man. Look at me finishing on time today. Let's go, Arrington. All right, my friends. Well, look, do me a favor. Thank you for sticking with us. But do me a favor, continue to tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights, available on all digital and streaming platforms, and continue to spread the word about the program. We're continue to grow, and we're in a new, we're changing up some stuff here. We're changing some stuff here and continue to build up, and you are a part of the journey. You guys, the listeners, the viewers are a part of the journey. So as always, I thank you so much for sticking with us, and just continue to pray for the show, pray for me, and just pray for peace in this world, y'all. We need to stick together. We need to unite. We need to know that good will always win over evil. And I'll just keep it at that. Peace and blessings, y'all. Talk.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.